I got some dental surgery a little while ago. I've been insecure about my teeth for my whole life. I've always had giant gums and small teeth, which doesn't matter, but it's not the look they're putting in magazines. So, one day, a buddy of mine goes, dude, there's this dentist in Portland, Oregon that will give you free surgery if you do his podcast. I was like, sounds real Craigslisty to me, but considering my health insurance is through GoFundMe, like I don't know what other option I have. So I drive down to Portland, and it turns out it's a real podcast. He's a real dentist also. That is more important. I should have led with that. He's not a real dentist, but that podcast was fire. You know, that's not a good sentence. No, he's a real dentist. You just go in this alley and get in his van, and he does all the work for free. No, he's totally real. He showed me a license. Could have been fake, but it's a podcast. It's called Drilled Podcast. You can look it up. The whole premise is that he gets comedians high on laughing gas, and then he interviews them. And yeah, actually, now that I say that out loud, I'm not sure that that's legal, but not my problem anymore. Surgery is done and paid for, and it turned out great. But what's crazy is it's been 2 years now, and none of my friends have ever said anything. Like, no one even noticed, which is crazy. Like, this is a thing I've been insecure about my whole life, and it turns out no one gave a shit. But that's also a nice life lesson on the other end of it, right? Like, hey, it doesn't really matter what you look like, it's how you treat people and who you are on the inside. So, yeah. So, I'm getting my tits done next week. That's gonna be exciting. Yeah. I'm gonna stream my colonoscopy on Twitch later, so you gotta do what you gotta do to get the stuff done. But they gave me some drugs after the surgery, and they were great. They were really effective, and the pain went away. And then a couple days later, there was no more pain, so I put the drugs away. And then a couple days after that, the pain came back, but this time it was on the inside. And I found myself wondering out loud. I was like, I wonder where I put those drugs. And I was like, well, that's not a good sentence to say alone in your room. So I called my mom, because I was like, well, she's the expert on drugs. She'll know what to do. I go, hey, they gave me these drugs, and I think they're too strong. I don't trust myself having them in my house. I think I'm just gonna throw them away. And she goes, you should sell them. And I did, which it's gotta be the worst part of the story. A lot of people end up in jail because they're like, oh, I had a rough childhood. My parents weren't around all the time. And I'm gonna end up in jail like, I had a rough childhood. My parents were around all the time. Just really bad influences on me.